Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome to this video. I just want to give you guys a quick fix if you guys have this issue with a no crack no start. Sometimes a crack no start with the um with an issue with the PCM, car's computer, the ECU, PCM, ECM. Sometimes multiple modules, the TCM, the transmission control module. So if you guys have issues um in particular to these systems of the car, um I just want to give you guys uh, 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 a diagnosis to actually where to look for where this could possibly come from. You guys have this issue. All right, first of all, a lot of times this could actually be caused by just low voltage on the battery. All right, you guys definitely want to check the battery itself. Make sure that the battery is good. Make sure that the battery is reading 12.6 volts. It's very simple. You guys want to test out the battery. A lot of people just leave their a lot of people don't actually change the battery after 3 or 4 years, which is what you normally want to do. And if you guys don't do that, there's a good chance that the battery could deteriorate to the point where it actually is not holding a good charge, which would actually could cause issues with your PCM or ECU or ECM actually having a good connection to any kind of normal voltage to actually operate, and that could actually cause no communication issue. On top of that, you guys actually want to look for the ECM, the PCM fuse. Make sure that fuse is not blown. That fuse is blown. It's definitely either going to cause you a crack no start or sometimes a no crack no start issue. It could possibly keep your OBD2 from connecting or running the scan to all the way through to give you any codes or analysis of all the systems that's in the car. You guys definitely want to look out for a blown fuse, but a lot of times this could also be caused by the fuse box itself having a short, either by maybe a cable, positive line on a cable that's actually making contact with the frame and just shorting out the fuse box itself. And a lot of times, depending on which car you have, you guys could actually have an issue where the fuse box is situated in a area of the car that might be open to wetness, rain, snow, etc., etc., any of those things. All right, you want to make sure that there's no moisture or dampness or water in the fuse box itself, and that's visually obvious if you guys visually look at the fuse box. You might want to also test out the fuses. Test out all the fuses in the fuse box to make sure that none of the fuses are blown. That's always a good start to check out in a situation like this. All right, the fuse box is always, besides the battery, the fuse box is always a great start as far as trying to figure out where what's causing this problem. Now, I will tell you that in a lot of vehicles, the ground wire or anything that keeps the ground wire from making proper contact with the frame. Now this could be the main ground wire, or this could be a ground wire that's connected to the PCM, the ECU, the TCM. You want to make sure that all those ground wires are A, free of corrosion, B, have significant contact area with the frame. All right, some vehicles have the contact area very, very, very small. It's painted over, and sometimes in some vehicles you might want to just scrape off the paint with a metal brush or something like that, and make sure that there's enough contact with the ground wire to the frame of the vehicle, so that it actually has enough contact to give enough voltage for the PCM to operate the way it's supposed to. And the most obvious ground wire that could affect the operation of the ECM, the PCM, the ECU, the TCM, any of those main computer components of the vehicle, you definitely want to check out the negative line where it connects to the frame of the car. All right, make sure that it's not make sure that it's actually 100% tightly connected to the battery and it's clean, first of all. Second of all, you want to make sure that the ground wire itself is not frayed or broken off, and for whatever reason, I've seen ground wires chewed up by rats and stuff like that, but you want to make sure that it's not frayed or broken off or anything like that. You want to make sure that ground wire is actually where it connects to the frame is free of corrosion, and it makes significant contact, has sufficient contact with the frame, and it's tight. Those are things that you guys want to look for. For the most part, those are the things that you guys want to look for as far as issues with communication with the PCM, the ECU, the TCM. And now, a lot of times, the tipping itself, a lot of people will change the tipping, which is pretty much another term for the fuse box itself. A lot, and it's possible, if you actually find that there are multiple fuses that are blown, if the fuse box itself is not it's actually not it's actually not operating the way it's supposed to, as far as maybe there's no power going to any of the fuses, maybe there's no power going to any of the relays, and you definitely want to make sure that it's the fuse box itself. Maybe there's a short somewhere in the fuse box where some components of the fuse box is shorted out. Sometimes you'd have to take the fuse box out. It's one of those things where it's kind of tricky, but shorting of blown fuses, a wire that's shorting out fuses, a wire that's shorting out the tipping, the fuse box itself. Those are essentially many times the main components of PCM, ECM, ECU issues. Sometimes it could be the OBD2 connector itself that might have issues, but even if the OBD2 connector itself has issues, a lot of times the car would still operate normally. You just wouldn't be able to get a connection with your OBD2 scanner. But if you guys do actually have an actual car system computer issue with any kind of communication with the car, and that actually creates either a no communication issue, or that actually generates like multiple codes, maybe like 10, 11 different codes for different parts of the car that that have no connection with each other. That's generally one of the symptoms of a faulty, or a symptom of either faulty ECU, ECM, PCM. Maybe sometimes the module itself needs to be changed out. It could be maybe the connector that connects to the module it's loose. You might want to just maybe take it out and plug it back in, make sure that it's plugged in tight. And those things are definitely things that you guys want to check in this situation. Hopefully this has helped you guys out. If you guys have any questions, definitely leave the question in the comment section. If you guys have any of your own personal experiences with this, definitely leave your own leave a comment, and it might help somebody else out. But other than that, have a good day, guys. Take care.